Hello and welcome back to the Perth to Paisley podcast, episode number 176. And we're into the second weekend of October, but Hearts have finally won a game of competitive football. It wasn't in the league, and we're still bottom of the league with no wins domestically, but fuck that, we're aiming for higher heights. It doesn't matter. The Conference League is where it's at. So, it's a weird week of football and results for Hearts, as ever. But to talk about it all, I am Danny McIver, joined by Adam Kennedy. Adam, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, mate. I'm now curious as to have any sides ever entered the Europa League and the Scottish Championship simultaneously? Could we be the first ever?
I think we're going to do it. I think we're
I,
going to do
I,
it.
I'm not going to say that things are going to improve in the league, but what I will say is that Conference League, everybody better get Warsaw booked up because around May time, because that's a certainty now, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm good to be honest. I'm feeling a lot more positive about Hearts, which is bizarre given that we lost our most recent
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
But yeah, is this the level that we've fallen to? Is this what we've become?
Listen, considering we were going into this week, and I'll be honest, thinking that we were still going to be without any win or any positivity, the fact that we've got a win and a really good performance is
Yeah,
actually you take what you get when you're bottom of the league in the October, okay? That's what you need to take.
we're making our way through the sewers, and it's like a shit sandwich. Yeah, we'll have that. Like, yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Take
it's
anything you can
it's
get.
it's a tragic state of affairs, but it's a better state of affairs now than it previously was.
Yes, exactly. So, yes, we begin on Thursday night in the Europa Conference League. I'm not watching. I'm at Edburn at Queen's Hall.
Oh, ah!
Yeah, the best song in football is playing, and I can't hear it. And apparently, that should just be the way this season goes. Because I've missed one game this season in terms of watching it, and it's the one game we fucking won.
Great. I'm fine to go along with that. I think we can get a campaign started now. That's good. Was Ed Byrne worth it? I
Oh, it
probably
was
should have asked
exceptional.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
I'm so happy that that's what I watched instead of this apparently horrific game of
Well,
football.
yeah, yeah. I was going to say, I was happy I watched it at the end of it.
Yeah,
During it, it was, yeah, not one for the neutrals, let's just say.
yes, exactly. So Hearts travelled to Baku due to the ongoing situation in that part of the world to face Dinamo Minsk. Hearts lined up in a slightly different to the season, but continuing on from Ross County 4-3-3 with Craig Gordon in goals, Luke Penrice and Adam Forrester making up the fullbacks. Adam Forrester making his Euro debut after just making his first team debut generally. Frankie Kent and Kai Rose as the two centre halves. A midfield three of Cammy Devlin, Benny Beningame, and Blair Spittle. And he's again more natural eight position. I think we'll be speaking about Blair Spittle a lot tonight because it's just, oh my god, look what happens when you play it in his actual fucking position. With a front three, the positivity ends with of Alan
Oh, it
Forrest,
really does.
Alan Forrest, Barry Mackay, and Lawrence Shankland. When you saw that team, what were you thinking?
We can beat this mob.
Confident.
Uh, uh, yeah, quietly, I say that. I hadn't been too impressed with Blair Spittle's performances up to the past week or so. Um, Barry Mackay in from the start's interesting, given I was going to say the severity of the game, but the importance of the game,
Yeah, the
perhaps,
importance of
and
the
and
game. Yeah,
and the high profile nature, I guess, because look, they're not the greatest team in the world, but it's our first European fixture of the season. We're in a group stage. We're trying to get off to a winning start. We're trying to basically right the wrongs of the campaign so far. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I was quietly confident heading into it. I think we've got the random button to thank in UEFA for the fixtures being generated in the totally legitimate manner that they're generated, and giving us probably our easiest tie, certainly our easiest away tie
yeah,
first, and basically trying to use that as a confidence boost and seeking some inspiration from somewhere.
that's very fair. Now, we're going to cover this game differently in a way that we've really ever covered it on Perth Paisley because, as I say, I wasn't there. Obviously, fucking nobody was. I
Not
didn't
not many
see
of us
it.
were.
Yeah, I didn't see it. And highlights are very much a scarcity. There is a 3 minute TNT
The-
Sports highlights.
I can assure you, I watched the entire 94, 95 minutes. They are doing you a favor because it
So,
was really bad.
what we're instead going to do is have the Adam Kennedy Power Hour, where
Oh God.
basically I'm just going to say the three goals because that's the important things, but I just want your summation. Anything you think is important to mention
Jesus.
in terms
Okay.
of passages of play, players for positive or, as I imagine, negative reasons.
I'm
And
glad
just,
I've done such extensive prep and
yeah.
research for all this. Yeah,
But
great.
the point is, I wanted to just get it from someone who was just watching it in the moment because the Aberdeen game, we both watched it. It's a lot more in depth. We've got like opinions and stuff like that. I quite like the idea of me having I don't know how the game went at all, apart from just we had 0.13 XG by the 70th minute, and we yet somehow won. So, 21st minute, we go behind, obviously. Minsk work it on the near side and cut it back to
Textbook.
the box before Stephen Alfred opens the scoring for Minsk. But then,
Batman's butler with the
yep,
goal.
exactly. 15 minutes later, for some reason, Kai Rolls claims a goal here as Luke
It's
Penrice
never
crosses it
Kyro's goal in
in.
a million years.
And
We'd
it's,
be as well. You'd be as well claiming this goal, or
yeah,
me.
exactly, exactly. And it's off the head of Politavich.
Nice attempt.
No idea to make it 1-1. And
No, no
then
idea if that's right or not, but good attempt.
all the way to the last minute, George Grant swings a ball from
Oh,
the far side. It's nodded back across by Shankland and is met by Jan Danda to get his first goal for the club, first win of the season. Everybody's loving life in Gorgie. Now, from my perspective, all I saw was that we've won. It was a terrible game. Blair Spittle played really well. Is that a good enough summation? Oh, and Barry Mackay was apparently the worst performance we've ever seen ever.
he and Alan Forrest were nothing short
Right.
of a disgrace.
How?
An
I've seen the
absolute
Opta
disgrace.
stats
Because
where
of
Barry Mackay did literally
but
nothing.
that's exactly what I was going to say, because of the sheer anonymity. You genuinely forgot, unless it was a set piece like a corner or something, that Barry Mackay was on the park. And even then, I feel as though James Penrice's deliveries or whoever else takes them, Blair
Luke
Spittle,
Penrice.
Luke Penrice looks great from corner kicks. Anybody's better at corner kicks. It's like
Penrice is actually really good from corner. We keep scoring for Penrice corners.
I Luke can continue to take them for as long as he likes. Um, just the sheer anonymity. It's like when you're, and like I've said, they weren't the best. They really were not a good football team. I mean, Belarusian football was not covered in the
If that's
best
the
light.
best they've got to offer, fuck
Yeah,
me.
yeah. We think the game in Scotland's bad. My word. Um, we're not up against Real
World
Madrid,
beaters.
Barcelona, Bayern Munich, whoever. Um, so you're asking Barry Mackay and Alan Forrest to just try and carve out something, at least get at their man to, I don't know, get down the byline or look to provide cutbacks or, I mean, Alan Forrest is culpable for the goal for me and just losing his
Because
man
he
so
really
easily.
commits, yeah, and doesn't track a runner.
Right. And then it's actually a decent finish from the boy, to
It
be
is
fair.
actually, it is a really good
It's a
finish.
good finish. But again, I'm watching it thinking we are just so fragile. We need something, particularly defensively, because if these are carving us open, then we're going to come up against
What the
better
fuck's
teams.
going to happen?
And one of those certainly happened on Sunday where you're thinking, I really don't want to be heading into that Aberdeen game having just lost to these because confidence could be at a real all-time low. Um, I thought Adam Forrester was pretty good actually.
Good.
At right back, I'm turning into James Penrice's biggest fan. I really,
Well,
really
you can be
like
James Penrice's, I'll be Luke
Luke
Penrice's biggest
Penrice.
fan.
That's fine. We're in agreement there.
Yeah, I love
Um,
him. I just love him.
I mean, I don't want to keep harping on about a certain someone that went down south and now plays for Tom Brady's Birmingham City. However, they were big boots to fill. Wee Jimmy is, and my missus gets really annoyed when I call him Jimmy Penrice, but I'm rolling with it. He's doing a great job. In the midfield, I was really pleased with Blair Spittle. I actually felt as though this was not that this game could be the making of his Hearts career, but certainly that this was it was showing us something. He showed a reason and a purpose as to why we nicked him on a free from Motherwell. In terms of other
I have a
performers,
question actually about that.
go on.
So obviously you're saying there about how well Blair Spittle performed. I imagine a lot of that is down to the fact that he's playing in his natural position.
Against again, not the best
Yeah,
outfit.
but why is it then do you think that Barry Mackay played so badly? Because what I was going to ask about Mackay was,
Because it's on his
a
side or whatever.
do you think it's a system change that's affected? Do you think it was tactically Mackay was suffering, or do you just think no, the tactics were clearly right because it got the best out of a lot of players, and Mackay just had a terrible game, or do you think the reverse that the tactics maybe weren't amazing, but Blair Spittle just feels more confident playing in his actual position,
I think it's the latter.
right?
Blair Spittle feels more confident playing in his natural position. And I also just look at Barry Mackay and think this is just it's just a lack of application
What's
for
the
me.
point in you anymore,
Like
basically?
he's just there to fill a quota, really.
Yeah,
That's the way I look at it. And listen, I was all for the Barry Mackay signing. I thought it was a really good bit of business. But now I'm starting to see as to why we picked him up when we picked him up. We were in dire need of any form of creative spark. Barry Mackay, on his best of days, can provide that. The only problem is it ain't often his best of days. What's the saying? Hard work beats talent when talent does
yeah,
not work hard.
yeah.
He is just the epitome of that. He's just lazy. I mean, even the way that we were talking about corner kicks earlier, even the way that he just trudges over, it's like no desire, no kind of urgency. I'm just thinking, what are you doing? And the worrying thing is, he's been given the number 10 shirt in
Yeah.
the summer. Because it's almost like we've promoted him to basically be that first choice. And yeah, I'm
The
thinking,
thing is,
why?
though, the thing is, and you're very much right, that is alarm bells. But I think it would be more alarm bells if we had the guy who gave him the number 10 still in charge. Whereas now, there's a guy coming in going, I couldn't give a shit about squad numbers. I'm looking
Yeah.
at players who have both ability but endeavour, will to dig in, intensity.
But what does it say about the options that we've got in the flanks when these two are probably still our strongest operators out there?
I think Alan Forrest can still be like maybe not in Europe, but
Alan Forrest has
domestically,
something to give
yeah,
us.
exactly. Yeah, domestically, I think Alan Forrest is fine for
But
most of this league.
Jesus, Thursday night could easily be up there with one of his worst Hearts
Okay,
performances.
right.
Just honking, miles off it. Um, Benny Beningame is still our best central midfield player, and again, I will fight anybody that disagrees with me. Cammy Devlin, I thought was okay, all right, fine,
Got
but
booked again in the most obvious
oh,
nailed on bet
textbook.
ever.
He's a bet builder's dream, is your
Yeah.
Cammy. But yes, my main gripe offensively is the wide areas. We are severely lacking. And I look, we obviously we've not got the luxury of being able to tap into different markets now because the transfer window's closed. So unless there's a free agent that is of more benefit and use to our current options, we ain't going to see anybody coming in soon. But the thing that was kind of hammering home to me was we're needing a lot of players' expiries on their current Hearts contracts. And let's be honest, I'd be happy to see the back of a few of them, not
Yeah.
just issuing them another year in the hope that we sell them for minimum dosh. I'm talking cut ties. Thanks for your service, but catch you after.
In fairness, due to the clear change in our recruitment style, I think that is actually what I don't think we'll kind of just keep hangers on. I think it will be, it's a positive that this is happening because it's like good, it allows a clear out
Yeah,
in favour of this new recruitment. Obviously, a big positive is that last weekend, well, the weekend before last, sorry, now that we're recording this on Tuesday, we had Danda gets an assist for Shankland. Then a few days later, Shankland gets an assist for Danda. We'll get to the weekend's game in a bit, but that's Shankland, say it quietly, 3 goal contributions in 3 games. Danda, two goal contributions in 3 games.
Let's begin to motor. Come on.
I think the theme that will run through this episode is that Liam Fox should leave with his head held high in this interim period,
Absolutely should.
because what was our major criticism of most of the season is that we couldn't see any positive. It's not like it was last season under Naismith where you could see something, but it just wasn't clicking. It was that there was nothing positive, whereas it very much has felt. I mean, literally in the last 3 games, there's been positives in terms of we've only lost one of the 3 after having lost the previous 10. But
When you put it like
generally,
that, yeah.
yeah,
Jesus, I hadn't thought of it like that.
Liam Fox nearly went unbeaten after having not, after only being beaten previous to that. Generally, we just, it screamed, oh yeah, these are actual professional footballers and they can do something.
And players that ultimately have arrived at the club in the summer that maybe haven't had that chance to show their worth or been given enough time to contribute. How has Yandanda barely kicked a ball for us before now? It honestly, it astounds me. And I said about Mackay and Forrest on the flanks. He's not an out-and-out winger, Yandanda, but I'd rather him than either of
Well,
those two at the minute.
tell him that, because on Sunday he looked like it. He
Well,
looked very good on
it was
Sunday.
hugging that left touchline, but again, I mean, I'm not being funny. I'd have put you or me in before
Yeah,
Barry Mackay at Pittodrie on Sunday.
that's fair. That's very,
Because
very fair.
at least both of us will be breathing out our arse after 10. But what a 10 minutes it'll be,
10's
because
pushing it.
we'll give you maximum effort. Okay, 5 for me, 10 for
Right,
you, baby.
but yeah, listen, everyone's made a big deal out of Dan's celebration because it genuinely looks like he's going to cry when he scores.
I was just about in tears. I'm thinking, what is this feeling? I was 2 minutes away, McIver, from preparing to go to my bed on a Thursday night with a bottle of whiskey. I thought, if we do not beat this mob, we're never winning a game again.
You're becoming a
This is it.
1950s noir film. The way
I
how bad
honestly, honestly, I was getting ready to just take that and just run. And then I actually ended up just staying up having a cracked over a couple of beers. I thought, why not? I'm going to celebrate this. It's been mid-May
Hearts have actually won a game.
since we've had the opportunity to celebrate a victory. I don't care that it's against, Borat's cousins and whoever else. We will take that. I am delighted with the victory. We move.
And again, say it quietly, it's gone like a massive way for us maybe getting knockout European football this season.
Which is just wild. Yeah, that was the only thing, because I know that obviously there were pictures of people that were there on representing Hearts
Sponsors.
in a rotten scenario. But I did feel, because the fans, that would have been amazing to have
And
seen celebrations behind
90
the goal or
whatever
whatever.
minute winner.
94th minute winner, considering the shit form that we're in. Everybody would have been tanked up to high heaven,
Yeah. It's
begging
Danda
for Hearts
as
to do
well.
something. Like, just the goal in front of probably a sea of maroon and white would have been absolutely epic.
Yeah.
But listen, I mean, I honestly, I think my missus saw a different side to me on Thursday with sheer rage and then delight. I was genuinely going to burst into tears. I thought, what on earth are we actually, what is this feeling? I'm not accustomed to this.
Well, that feeling is optimism. And we took that into a weekend's game for the first time this season as we travelled to Pittodrie, a place where we've not won, and still haven't, in 8.5 years since Abiola Dowda.
Like, can I just say, I don't know what came over lots of people. Like,
Mad.
Aberdeen were
Mad.
still on the crest of the wave that they've been riding. With all due respect, it's a win against some Belarusian bin men. Like, it can't dramatically change the code. Like, my dad was adamant. He was like, we're gonna beat Aberdeen at Pittodrie on Sunday. And I was like, why? I couldn't fathom where he's got this
In
air of
fairness,
confidence from.
I
But
couldn't
he's like,
believe the performance that we then got.
neither could I. But he said it's just the type of thing that we do. And as soon as we went 2-1 up, I thought, oh my God, Your
He's
man was
right.
actually right.
He's fucking
We're
right.
going to do this. We are going to do this, considering I hadn't given us a chance before
Yeah.
a ball was kicked, particularly with the journey, the run that they're on, all these external factors that were adding up. I thought this is an equation for disaster, but actually, it proved far from it in the end.
And then the final equation that fucks it is George Grant. But we'll get there. We will get there
Don't
because
even talk to me
first,
about that common denominator.
first, we go around the grounds. As we were in Europe with both sides of the Old Firm, we were the Sunday games. So the Saturday
Say it
games
louder for those at the back. Get it up the rest of you.
and the Saturday games were really funny. So
They were great.
we'll start with a
Well,
kind of
bar one of them.
no, still funny. We'll get to the boring one. Dundee United just continued this Jim Goodwin train as they beat St Mirren 1-0.
Like how St Mirren, man. Like I know that's the only positive that they didn't win prior to taking on us.
Which is
Obviously
a
after the
rarity.
break,
Normally
which
it
is
always
silly.
happens.
If we went back through the archives of this podcast, we'd be going, "Oh my God, I can't believe so and so just won their first game before they play us."
Yeah,
Typical, but they've actually been beat in Paisley of all places. I was mouthing
yeah,
off a couple of weeks back saying, "Oh, they only win in Paisley. They beat us in Paisley." Rare, rare, rare. But no
no,
excuse for us not to get that first victory. I'm going to lay my
exactly.
cards on the table nice and early.
Then, in Edinburgh, Hibernian just are having a somehow basically equally shit time to us.
Can I just say that? Why are the Scottish media not lapping this up? Is it
I've
only
no idea.
because we had such a good season last year and they sort of hold us in that high esteem
Maybe,
and they
yeah.
just accept Hibs are shit regardless of whichever
Yeah.
season and whichever. They've won one league game in October. One. And we've won none. Seemingly it's a disaster in Gorgie, but everything's rosy in the garden at Easter Road.
Well,
Pathetic.
it certainly wasn't on Saturday because despite playing Motherwell, who are, yes, doing very well, they got beat because they went down to 10 men because Nectar Triantis, we'll speak about mental second yellow card decisions
Oh, he
later
certainly
in this
will.
podcast. But the first one was on Saturday as Nectar Triantis, despite being booked for dissent as well, it's a very weird comparison. Got booked for dissent in the first instance. Just decides to absolutely try and kill a Motherwell player.
He's a bomb scare, that boy.
Yeah, for no reason. And you think, as Hibs, right, keep it tight for 5 minutes. Oh no! We'll just let, of all people,
What a guy.
Andy Halliday, just the funniest thing, if you want to go back and have some fun, go back and watch the Andy Halliday's winner against Hibs because you see him do what a professional footballer should do. Do a dummy run and go to sprint into the penalty spot. He does the dummy run, goes to sprint, and then realizes, oh, no one's following me. I can just stop. And then he just kind of like walks towards the ball as it's in
Into
the
the
air.
space. It's
Yeah.
what a bizarre circumstance. And then before you know it, a couple of yards out, bang. Can I just say, you take the midfielder out of Hearts, but you cannot take Hearts out the midfielder. You love to see that.
I take back everything negative I've ever said about
Yeah, you owe him an apology, actually, for the weekend alone.
Yeah.
What a guy. Love you, Andrew.
And then, what a season Kilmarnock are having. And by what a season, I mean just what games they are involved in. Because,
They're having a roller coaster campaign,
yeah,
or Kelly.
Dundee go 2-0 up. They're down to 10 men. But they go 2-0 up in the 81st minute. In the 86th minute, they're still 2-0 up. 94th minute, it's 3-2 Killy for their first win of the season. Matty Kennedy gets a double. Anderson gets another one. Was that Bruce Anderson's first? No, Bruce Anderson scored already this season.
Scored against Hibs, I think.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
Against Hibs, yeah.
A mad final 7 minutes at Dens. The reason I say I don't really care that Killy have got their win. I was under the opinion that Killy would win at some point this season. So I'm fine with it happening in this way. That it's the funny fuck you Dundee, basically. I've missed saying that.
Yeah. I'd usually like to say that, but given the circumstance that we're in, it's annoying. Although, again, having seen that on Saturday, I thought, well, if Kelly have just won, surely we have to win at some point.
No.
And again, the circumstances in our game, I'm thinking, oh my God, we're going to do it this year.
No, we're not.
No,
We
no, we're
moved to
not.
the Sunday, and Celtic struggled past Ross County in the Highlands. Hale just continues to look like a really, really good signing by Ross County. Fair
There's your
play.
Lawrence Shankland replacement. Said it last week. Say it this week. Just sign him up already.
He won't score between now and the end of the season as a result. Our
And then we
game,
will sign him and he
yeah, then we
still will
will.
go on a
Yeah,
barren run. Yeah.
exactly. Our game was next, and then finally, in a very boring result, Rangers just beat St Johnstone 2 at home. Although Ianis Hadji just was like, I'm playing for the first time of the year. I've got an assist. Oh, I'm going to try and break somebody's leg. It's fine. What do apart from what you said about the Saturday games, anything else to add about the Saturday games and your thoughts on the Old Firm games on Sunday?
I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No,
Usually
no,
around the
no, no,
grounds we
no, no,
have
no,
that
no.
summary
It's
and then
good.
we ask for thoughts and we try and go through
Listen,
every one of
you're
the
off
games.
the
But
high of the Adam Kennedy Power Hour. I get it.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for Andy Halliday's winner. I could watch that over and over again. It's fantastic. It really is. Um, what a few weeks for Mo Silla as well, by the way,
I know, crazy.
and another contentious. I mean, how that's never a sending off, is
No,
it?
I've no idea what's going on.
I mean, it's just not. And usually, again, I want to be with you and say, get right up, you Dundee. But I feel for them because they can't appeal. It's two
Yeah,
yellow
it's two
cards.
yellows, yeah.
So that's a total nonsense.
Imagine being in that
Um,
situation.
uh, um, yeah. Uh, Dundee United surely are going to fall away soon. Like
Yeah.
they can't maintain this. Like this is what I'm trying to be as positive as I can here. We are still yet to win. However, it's not unachievable.
If we
Like
won four games,
there's
we'd
still
be
time
fourth.
here. Yes. Like everybody takes points off each and every one. If we can just try and find
There's
some
still
consistency, then we've still got time.
there is still literally 90 points up for
Yes,
grabs. I have
exactly.
a feeling Dundee United will lose four games, and I'm going out on the fucking record here. I think we'll win at least four games this season. I know it's bold to
You
say
can
I think
clip
we'll
that
win
up.
four.
Clip
Yeah,
that up right
exactly.
now.
As we win two and get relegated again.
Hibs home and away, not a problem.
Yeah, exactly. It fucking would be as well. We'd get relegated. We'd finish on 9 points by getting two fucking. And the points would come against both Hibs home and away and Rangers. And that would be it. And then we get beat by everybody else.
um, in terms of the Sunday games, I'll just get the Rangers one out of the way.
Yeah.
8 o'clock on a Sunday. Who's tuning into that? I've still not seen any of it. I hear it's a Hadji red card. I don't
I've
really
just
care.
seen the red card. It's insane. He goes studs up into the guy's fucking shin. And it
Deserve
went to
everything you get.
VAR.
And ultimately, Scottish football deserves everything it gets with its viewing figures because we're going to let a half marathon take place in the afternoon, and then people can watch in after having just watched Brighton and Tottenham produce one of the greatest games of the season on
Yeah.
Super Sunday in the afternoon. Makes no sense. Feel for Ross County as well
Aye.
because again, we say it all
No.
the time.
Relegation competition. Get it up them. Fuck them.
No, I like Don Cowie.
So do I.
Um,
And Aidan
I,
Denham was buzzing
Oh,
with
he
a
was
goal.
loving that opener. Um, I mean, we say it all the time. You need every single starter line for you to possibly get a result against the Old Firm. And it looked like County were heading for a precious point. And the second goal, just a nonsense.
Yeah.
What is happening here? We're 8 games into the season, and yet the officials should be somewhat rested. Some of them don't do these international games. So you've got no excuse for
Most of
fatigue
them
in
don't.
October. So how can they reach some of the conclusions that they reach?
Also, apparently, you don't get a
Inc-
second yellow for running into the crowd anymore either.
but this is it. And then, like, why does nobody tell you these things? Because like there is specific ruling. It's the exact same with encroachment. I only heard it on Super Scoreboard the other week. The Rangers
Because of
Hibs
the
at
Rangers
Ibrox.
Hibs thing, yeah.
Yeah, had Robin Proper got a touch on the ball, then it's classed as encroachment. But because he doesn't, it's not. Well,
Yeah.
does anybody
That's
like?
not been
Can
communicated.
the clubs get together and communicate these things? Because it's ultimately left to like. Of course, there are professionals that do their job. Gordon Duncan being one of them to broadcast it on Super Scoreboard, but for your average numpty that couldn't care any less about this sort of stuff, fancy giving us a heads up.
Well, no.
I didn't think that
And
I'd be irked by something like that heading
it's
into this
fair.
week's podcast,
It's
but
very
it's
fair.
annoying.
And we'll speak about fucking refereeing decisions
And
because,
people that irk me.
yeah, Hearts travel to Pittodrie. As I say, haven't won in 8.5 years since that Abiola Dowda goal in what, 2016?
May 2016, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. We chose to line up. Now, the BBC has got it as a 4-1-4-1. It just felt like another 4-3-3.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So Craig Gordon goes, oh boy. Oh boy. This is where I immediately, I've come out of my seat. I'm not angry. I forgot all about this. I'm not angry. Look,
The
Penrice is
absence of
dropped.
Luke. Yeah, yeah.
Look, Penrice is dropped for
No
Stephen Kingsley.
space for Jimmy.
No. Daniel Ugoke comes in, who I think is someone we will speak about properly in this game, as understandably saying to Adam Forrester, hi, I know you've never played before, but play 3 full games, please, in the space of a week. Nice to give him a rest. Kent and Rose are the back two. Malachi Boateng came back in, which was really good to see.
I'm from the wilderness. Where have you been?
Yeah, where the fuck have you been? Lining up, Benny Beningame and Cammy Devlin both missed out for George Grant and Boateng. And then Spittle kept his place in the 8. And then both Alan Forrest and Barry Mackay were punted straight out the starting 11 in favour for Kenny Vargas and Jan Danda.
I'd say
Lawrence
that,
Shankland.
yeah.
Lawrence Shankland lined up.
Sorry, I was throwing up the prayers as though they'd been answered with Alan Forrest and Barry Mackay being dropped. It's only then when you look at the alternatives and you think, fuck me, maybe they weren't that bad on Thursday night.
Not Jan Danda.
No,
Love
Jan
Jan
Danda,
Danda.
he's exempt. He's just Yantastic, as Lauren Shankland summed it up on Thursday night.
I'm just going to ask you, what was your thoughts when you saw Penrice was dropped?
Absolutely devastated.
I was so angry.
That is a disgrace to humanity. It really, like...
It's like, Liam Fox, you were doing so well, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
He
know.
literally was.
I know there's shite about journeys, and it was a long flight, and all that.
He's a young man. He's a professional
also,
footballer.
Half of that team started against Minsk.
Yeah.
And Penrice is the best.
People are a worse nick athletically than him. Like...
That's true, actually. That is true.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a young man. He's just, like, this is what you're paid to do.
And I know he missed a lot of football in the latter half of last season, and his preseason was a bit fucked. But I've never once. Performer. But also, it's like, this is a game. We're about having an international break. You've got 2 weeks off. Yeah. I know that right now. Oh, yeah, right now we're playing in a testimonial. Oh, no, tomorrow, when this comes out, we're playing a testimonial.
Yeah, Ross Matthews Starks Park in Straith Rovers.
So, there is that. But I don't want us to see a single first-team player in that.
But with all due respect, just give him the night off for that.
Yeah, he doesn't need to play the testimonial. If he plays the testimonial and he didn't get started, I will be on my way to speak to Liam Fox personally. I know it ended up not mattering considering he came on 15 minutes into the game, but still, maybe...
Thank God he did.
Maybe the first highlight wouldn't happen if fucking Penrice is playing, because the first thing that happens is Aberdeen immediately score. That's what happens, because Stephen Kingsley fucks about.
Are you not giving me your thoughts with regards to the rest of the team? No, we're just going straight into the highlights.
We're just going straight into the highlights.
You're angry.
I'm angry. Stephen Kingsley is lax in possession. Then he just kind of tries to fall on the floor and he did it. Then he doesn't get back in position. Then when he does, he just doesn't move. And it allows Keskinen, who's had a very good start to the season.
It's not Topi Keskinen's goal. I don't care what anybody says. It's not.
I think it is because it's going on target.
It is, but it's
not going in, but it's going on target, and that's how it works.
Yeah, it is, but it shouldn't be.
Right.
This is nonsense.
It is. Fucking Rose should be claiming this shin as opposed to the one that he did on Thursday night.
Fact. Correct. I suspect he won't want to.
Yeah, exactly. Deflects off rolls and goes in. It's a minute 12 played or something like that, and you're thinking...
I'm thinking this could be a long
This is
afternoon.
bad. This is going to be real bad. What is Kingsley doing in any of the moments that I've just mentioned?
I don't want to be too harsh because, again, a fantastic servant to the football club. But he is looking like a dog that needs put down.
See, I don't think it's that
He
far. I
really,
just don't think he's a
he
left
does.
back anymore.
Well, when I say when he's out at fullback,
Yeah,
I'm more than happy with him being a centre half. That's
I'm
fine by
not.
me.
Well,
No,
I am just not in a two. I'm fine if we're
you're a
playing a
three.
three. Left side of a three, that is clear because Stephen Kingsley is class now.
But right, okay. I'm that anti three that I would be happy to see him fill in that role
Right.
if need be.
Yeah.
But starting at left back, no, no, no.
No.
What I want to know is where is Andres Salazar in all this? He must be
He was on the
absolute,
bench against Minsk, wasn't he?
but he must be absolutely dog
Hold
shit
on.
in training to have not even
Hold
got a
on.
sniff yet.
I'm going to find out. He played against Motherwell.
Yes, because he gave away the third goal.
He did. He was fucking awful.
But that's my point. Like, I don't think he wasn't on the bench against Aberdeen.
No, he wasn't. So he was on the bench against
So,
Minsk and
but
then
like,
not
the,
for that.
what I'm trying to say is like how we haven't
No, he
been able
wasn't.
to see what Jan Danda could do up to now because he's not been given a chance. Again, this boy Salazar not given a chance. Musa Drama up until now not
Where's
given a
he,
chance.
man?
What are we doing here? Why even sign these players in the first place? Like this is what we basically did the summer recruitment for Thursday nights into Sundays, and
And none
yet
of them
these
are
players are
available.
asked to double shift. It's literally like taking on 5 extra workers in a department and then just going, right, Daniel, you're doing doubles each and every day of the week. You'd be fuming. You'd be thinking, what on earth have we brought these clowns in for?
Well, I was thinking as this happened, oh god, these clowns are going to get a fucking hiding, as we so often do. But
They responded pretty well, but that's not the point. Like, what? This guy must be god awful to not even see the park. Have we basically just written him off after this Motherwell mistake and just gone, thanks for your look? You might have featured on every single scouting page on Twitter under the sun, and we've signed you to a 3-4 year deal or whatever it is. But that'll do. One appearance. We'll just cut our losses here. Thanks. Fuck off.
I love the idea that that is what happened. He had a lax back pass.
And we've just gone,
I've
nah,
just been,
not for us.
no,
Not for
you're
us.
finished, mate. You'll just get to travel to Baku and not feature. And
Do you know,
that's
like,
it.
what's he there to do? Is he there as entertainment? So that Roy Keane clip, does he perform,
Does he
card
do
tricks?
magic?
Like, what is he in the squad for?
Yeah, who knows? But as I say, this was our best performance of the season. Let's make
It
no
was,
bones about it.
which is mental.
It's
Like,
insane.
why do we do this? This football club honestly puts you through the ringer.
It's
How
so
on
hard.
earth can you go to pretty much Asia to compete in a European competition and then come back to, of all places, Aberdeen, who are riding high, top of the League One every single game to kick off the campaign, and look good against them when you've been dog shit against Dundee United, St
Knocked
Mirren,
out by Falkirk.
knocked out the League Cup by Falkirk. Like, what is happening here?
We made them look so average. It was
Why
so
have our best
funny.
performances come against Rangers, Celtic, and Aberdeen? What?
It's
What are
so
we
us.
doing, man?
It's so us. I love how, right, that's
Oh,
eight league games in, few European Cup competitions, and we finally just had a mental breakdown of just how insane this season is. Because yeah, we were great.
oh.
5th minute, it should be 1-1. Aberdeen are messing about at the back. Grant does well to close down, and it falls to Shankland in the penalty spot. Last season, he scores 8 of these out of this one chance.
Oh, of
Fires
course
it
he does.
straight at Mitov. Like,
Can I
six.
say, sorry,
Go.
McIver,
No,
you've
go.
got that Shanklin chance. The opening goal, you said it last week. When your luck's in, it's
Yeah,
in. But
yeah.
when it's out, it's well and truly out. I mean,
Yeah,
how lucky did Aberdeen want to get with that opener?
it's
And
just
how
mad.
unlucky are we to have
Yeah.
conceded said opener?
This game really felt like
Yeah.
you can tell which side everything's going for them, and you can tell which side
100%.
that nothing's going for them.
It genuinely, I don't. I can't even pin it down to a select person,
Yeah,
or it's not even like it was beaten. It's not even like it was Aberdeen fans. Like it just felt like the world, like the SFA, have just swallowed us up and
yeah.
gone. Yeah, Hearts are probably due a relegation again. We'll just send
Let's
them
just
back
do
down there.
that. Exactly.
Like, oh,
10th minute, Blair Spittle swings in a great ball and it's met by Shankland, but he doesn't know whether to header it or
oh,
volley it, and it just
oh.
ends up going over the bar through his foot, which is just ridiculous. About 3 minutes later, Spittle finds Oyegoki, who finds Vargas. Oyegoki continues his overlap and crosses a ball back across the box, but it's just behind Grant, and Shinnie gets a bit of a touch in it, so Grant can't make a proper connection.
That was a nice build up. And
It really
again,
was.
talking about players that should be given a chance that
So
have
that's who I was
been
going to
written
say. We
off.
don't really have a moment for the rest of the highlights to speak about Oyegoki. He went off in the 70th minute, and that's kind
Correct.
of a point of contention because it seems that the bench thought he was hurt, so just very quickly went to sub him off, and then he started saying, "No, I'm fine. Like I just was a bit sore," but then he was off. But anyway, easily Daniel Oyegoki's best 17 minutes of his Hearts career.
By a mile, a distance. He was really good.
Yeah, he
Really
just
good.
looked like a right back.
And again, like he's I think he's got a bit of the Civic syndrome about him where it was like if you give Toby Civic a run of games, he looks a competent defender. I think you might have that with Oyegoki as well. I
I
think he's
just I just
a wee
liked
bit
him.
fragile like that, and he got all the attributes when you look at him. I like big, strong, quick, powerful.
I
Just
think he's technically good on the ball as well.
yeah, I really hope that this is the start of something from him as well. Because that's obviously a void that is now gaping open with what with Gerald Taylor. Adam Forrester needs competition because he basically came in and made that his own after 2 games, which is mental to say. But given what Oyegoki had shown previously, the vacancy was kind of there for Forrester. Now it seems like the two will be, going at it hammer and tong, which is great to see.
But all these highlights and positivity did actually end up with something because Danda floats across into the box that looks like it's doing nothing, but it just suddenly drops as if the North Sea wind disappeared and it just
Oh,
fell towards Mitov.
I could watch him all day. What a
Yeah,
wonderful footballer.
Mitov has to punch it away. From the ensuing corner, Mitov flaps at it and Shankland crosses back across the box. It's met by our joint top goal scorer, Frankie Kent. Hearts equalise. The only other chance that actually ended up happening in that half is Danda again crosses into the box. It's met by Rolls, but it's a bit beyond him and it ends up over the bar. We go into halftime 1-all. We're well worthy of a draw.
Oh,
You should actually be saying we
at
should be
least a
ahead.
point.
Yeah, the goal is I know Mitov flaps it, but Shanklin does really well to get it back
The
across the
goal's
box.
great.
Kent in the right place at right time. And it did. My overriding feelings from that half was just, we've been great.
My, we have, and you'd certainly have taken that again, factoring everything. You wouldn't have thought that we'd have played on Thursday night in the arse
Nah.
end of nowhere. The old man was delighted. £75 richer, thanks to
Oh,
Francis
really?
Kent. A cheeky £3 on him, 25 to 1 any time. Thanks for coming. He loves Frankie Kent. I think that's
That's
probably
fair.
Cammy Devlin aside his favourite player right now.
That's fair.
So yeah, very pleased. And now, as you say, Frankie Kent, our tied top goal scorer. If we were doing these predictions as to who would receive awards, etc., was there many, if any, that had Frankie Kent as
Is he
top goal
tied
scorer?
with own goals?
I think so. Certainly, in terms of a Hearts player, he's out on his own with
Yeah, he's on his
two.
own. On his own with two, and he's a centre half.
Been a
Amazing.
been a
Absolutely
tough
love it.
campaign, but you wouldn't have thought so by looking at
No,
that first half. Again, really good, well worthy of at least going in on level pegging. And maybe unfortunate to not have actually taken the lead into the interval.
right. The second half, there's only 5 highlights, but every single one of them
Oh, it
is
was carnage.
hugely game defining. 54th minute, the biggest miss of the game. Kai Rolls sends a ball over the top. It's not amazing, but it's just kind of into an area. There's a mix up between the two Aberdeen defenders, and let's give him some credit. Kenny Vargas does very well to anticipate that and put his foot in and nick the ball away. And he is through. He's got the freedom of Aberdeen. He's got Shanklin to his side. He can go round Mitov. He could just hit it past Mitov. But no, he chooses to try and dink the 6'3" guy. So as a result, puts ridiculous lift on it and it ends up over the bar. Now, I imagine, this is what I mean. You should join me in your lack of heart social media because I don't know what anyone said about this, right? But I can imagine some of the things that people will say about this. We, on this podcast, are very big Kenny Vargas fans. We have given them time. We have said that there's clearly a player there. There is no defending this miss. It's just it's insane. It's bad.
I don't know what you want me to say.
I laughed when it happened because I was like, this is where we are this season.
I just wanted to literally open up the sofa and just find a hole
collapse in it
and just I oh ah I there is no excusing it, and it actually gets worse the more times that you watch it back.
Yeah, it does.
Because Shankland is rightly
he's so angry,
fuming at him. And then you see Vargas with the laughing and smiling, and it wasn't a good look. You're right. You're lucky that you haven't seen on social media.
I don't understand why people being like, that's like a very human reaction. He'd be like, there's no way I've done that. There is no way I've done that. That's how I'd react. I'd just be looking at the book going, nah, that's a joke. There's no way I'm offside or something. There's no way that's happened. I don't care if he'd smiled. It's a smile of what?
There's a clip of, I think it's an old couple or two or three kind of pensioners in Vegas, and they're basically tapping all the slot machines.
I've seen that. Yeah.
And one of the tweets I saw was me liking all the Vargas and Grant hate posts, and just that video. I was like, oh my God, I can't join in because I am just as frustrated as anybody. They're human. They make mistakes, but boy, was that a big mistake.
That's a big mistake.
That was a sitter. An absolute sitter.
I'll go out on a limb and say I don't think we'll have as bad a miss all season.
Oh, I know. I think we'll find at least one.
I'm trying to will it into existence.
That's just nonsense. We'll definitely have a good few.
Mind that GMS miss a few years ago
against Dundee. That is the worst I've ever seen.
That is probably the worst I've ever seen as well. Or Cammy Devlin's last week.
The Vargas, he's got options either side.
He could do a million things.
He literally, his decision making is up there with one of the worst I can recall in
He has four options. He has four options and picks a mystery number 5 that wasn't an option.
I love a punt as much as anybody McIver, but if I see Kenneth Vargas racing through 1-on-1, you can bet your life that I would stick good money on him picking the worst option of the choices that he's presented with.
Listen,
because this is nothing new. I love the wee guy. I love his effort. I love his commitment. I love his willingness to get stuck in. But his finishing and decision making is abhorrent.
I think so. My brother messaged me after the game, clearly very emotional, saying he should never play again. Now, in fairness, he then rescinded that statement. But I think this is a very...
Because he saved it for somebody else.
Exactly. I think this is a very good time for Vargas to maybe have a couple of games out.
Yes, I would agree.
Because
but again, I think... we're not blessed with anybody else.
True. And maybe a new manager coming in fixes that. But I think what it is that it's a 22-year-old who's probably dealing with his first case of being in a really struggling team and knowing that he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders because Shankland, I mean, in fairness, in the last 3 games, Shankland has started contributing goals, but prior to that, Shankland hasn't been either. So he's probably thinking, a 22-year-old being like, right, I had a good return last season, 14 goal contributions. They're probably expecting me to kick on. I've not scored yet. He's probably just so much in his own head. So it probably is beneficial for him to maybe take a couple of games out and just be like, right, reset, calm down, stop putting as much pressure on my own shoulders here, and let's see what happens.
It's a fair point. Like, is it a case of second season syndrome? Is it also a case of his English improving and thus he's understanding what the fans are saying? I feel like
Maybe
if you don't understand that and you can't see that the fans are
it
slowing
could
you,
it
you
could just
just
be
play
really
anyway.
like they're just really being aggressively nice to me. Maybe like, I don't know what's
Ryan
happening.
McGowan said that. I can remember Ryan McGowan saying on open goal when he played in China. You sort of just wave at the fans because you have no
Yeah, it
idea what they're
doesn't
saying
matter.
anyway.
It's just
That's
yeah.
me, Vargas. He just sees Kenneth Vargas and he's like, "Oh, the fans must love me. Like this is great." But now maybe he might take some of those comments and
But
like
then I'm
everything the
saying
wrong
that.
way. But I hope not
I'm
because
saying
I do like the wee guy.
I'm saying take time out, but by all accounts, we will have a new manager for the first game after the international break, and it's at home against a side who are also struggling. So maybe it's the perfect time for him to be in from the start. I don't know.
I and like Kenneth Vargas is an asset that the club firmly believe in because we wouldn't have given him the length of deal that we've given him, having
Yep.
signed him on a permanent basis anyway. So I think that's kind of one of his first tasks, whoever this new manager is. Could it be that a partnership forms between Shankland and Vargas? Does he go one or the other? Does Vargas come on as fresh legs to run at a tired defence with Lawrence Shankland having done all the dirty work? I don't know. I'm not paid to make these decisions. It's not my job. It's going to be our new manager's job, and hopefully we can reach a conclusion.
Well, someone that the new manager will probably be very excited about is the man who finally got his first goal for the club. And what a fucking goal to get as your first goal. Once again, little Luke Penrice crosses a ball in. Mitov once again kind of flaps at it, although this one's less of a flap and he punches it out to the edge of the box. Where Blair Spittle takes one touch and fucking whips it bottom corner past Mitov. It looked like the things he'd been doing for the last 18 months for Motherwell, but this time, fuck your claret and amber in maroon and white, although it was in the blue.
I was going to say the navy and maroon.
Yeah, in the navy and maroon. As Rob Borthwick said on commentary, it felt like every fan was buzzing about the goal, but also buzzing that he scored it as well.
Totally agree with that. Um, there's no doubt that Blair Spittle is a talented footballer. That he's got ability. It's just
Yep.
been trying to unlock that. And listen, it's not solely his fault. I I also think he's probably not used to this kind of level of expectation, joy, excitement, anger, because it is a bit of a step up. I don't like slagging off other clubs, but it is a step up from Motherwell to Hearts. So there is that little bit extra baggage. He's been played out of position, as we've said countless times. We've wanted to see something further forward. He's not really shown it up to now. But again, like a lot of this team, it's something to basically use as a base to build from. I would like to think that the performance at Pittodrie is a base for us to build from. This goal is certainly a base to build from for Blair Spittle. It's an absolute thunder bastard. And it's
Ridiculous.
placed to
Yeah,
perfection.
it's unbelievable.
It's incredible. And yeah, really, really pleased for him. Was pleased for the fans that again sold out away end that had actually bothered their arse to nip all the way up there. Thought they would finally be rewarded after 8 years of pain and the home team always winning when Aberdeen play Hearts or Hearts play Aberdeen.
No, it
Poor.
lasted 2 minutes because Aberdeen win a free kick. Now, we're going to speak about this later, because at the moment, it didn't feel like anything was that different or unique or
Just
potentially
a
newsworthy
setback.
about it. Just a setback. Aberdeen win the
Annoying
free
that the ball was
kick,
still rolling though.
but that's what I mean. I didn't pick that up at
Neither
all.
did I. It's only then when I saw it back.
Yeah, the ball is worked, it deflects back to Nicky Devlin in the box, who puts it into the far corner. Now, your natural reaction is, for fuck's sake, we can't even have 5 minutes of joy. It's 2 minutes, for the love of God. But what I'm just gonna play this into the next fucking highlight. Because 9 minutes later, the game is still very finely poised. It's on a knife
I
edge.
thought a point would be all. I'm fine
Yeah,
with a point.
yeah.
A point at Pittodrie is a good result,
One
whichever way you
hundred
like to
percent.
spin it.
100%. Get all your cliches about how the game was going out your system. But
Yeah.
it was end to end, and either team could have won it, but a point,
Point, arguably a fair result.
yeah. Aberdeen break. And George Grant flies into a challenge. The kind of challenge which is like, if a refereeing association wanted to show a classic yellow card challenge, that.
Hold my hands up. At the time, they were on the break. I thought, fine,
Yeah,
take the hit, take the
it's one
yellow
of
card.
them where you're like, it's a tactical
This is
foul.
this is a good foul to make.
Yeah, 100%. And John Beaton flashes a yellow. And you're just like, yep, right, okay,
We'll take
back into
that.
formation, cool. Stop the counter attack, we can now kick on. Oh, but wait, because then you see John Beaton going to get a red card. Now, for the next like 7 minutes, there's just confusion because across Opta, Footmob, Sky,
Last score.
Flash Score, BBC, Hearts TV, Aberdeen TV, no one can find out what's really just happened. We don't know if John Beaton's actually just changed his mind in the moment and given a red card. If he
I thought it
had,
was mistaken identity. See Kieran Gibbs and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain
that's
all
so
those
weird
years
because
ago.
that is the exact comparison I said out loud when it happened. I went, it's a Kieran Gibbs situation all over again. I can't believe this. But then I was like, Grant didn't complain. When all of this was happening,
Yeah,
and loads of people, I was getting loads of messages, and like Robin Laurie, that's how I'm listening to it and watching it. They're being like, we're trying to
I
find
mean,
communication and stuff like that. The whole time, my worry was, I was like, even if it's a straight red, and you're going, how the fuck is that a straight red? If it's mistaken identity, if he thinks he's just accidentally booked him already, the worry I had was Grant has not complained. Grant's done that like usual player thing of
yeah.
like, what?
You can tell a lot by a player reaction.
Yeah.
If a player's adamant, then you know that chances are the referee's probably fucked up.
Alice,
If he's acceptant of it, right, the
Stephen Kingsley
Kingsley,
for the
yeah, yeah,
handball against Rangers in the
yes,
semi-final or cup final.
semi, I think.
We've lost to them so many times in recent years I can't
Yeah,
fucking remember.
was that not the league game? No, no, was it? Was it the
No,
semi?
because it
Ah,
was
it was
at
the semi, I
Hampden.
think.
I
Yeah, the
remember,
semi then.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stuff
But
like
yeah,
that.
you're right. Like I often gauge that with player reaction. If they're accepting of it, cool, that's fine. But
So,
we then see George Grant be accepting of it, and you're going, well, hold on a
what?
second.
This
If
looks
this
like
is
a
his first
mad
yellow
thing,
into a
yeah.
red card instantly, how can you possibly be accepting of that? And then I'm thinking, is John Beaton having me on? We've just got this, but we've literally went 1-0 down with the shittiest goal inside 2 minutes. Somehow turned the game on its head to go 2-1 up. Yes, conceded a shit goal to then make it 2 each. But I'm thinking, do the SFA not even want Hearts to get a point here?
Yeah. So this is everything that's running through your mind. And then it emerges that due to the nature of the ball still being in movement when Aberdeen take their free kick and
Still
score
active.
their equaliser, it emerges that in the aftermath of the celebration, George Grant and Lawrence Shankland are going ballistic at John Beaton. Shankland from the perspective of, I know I'm booked, but I'm the captain, so I'm allowed to
He was
speak. I
very
couldn't believe
lucky
he
to
didn't get sent off. Couldn't
to
believe
still
he
be
didn't
on the
get sent
park.
off.
He was very lucky. Can't believe we
But
haven't spoken about that prior.
George Grant gets booked for dissent in that action. 7 minutes before. So
I don't mind that. Listen, if you're that wound up by the decision as a player, I
when
that's
he's got a
cool.
point, like it's not,
Yes,
it's against the rules for
when
that to happen.
it's justified,
Yeah,
I'll back you to the hilt.
yeah. So
Sorry, McIver, I was talking about kind of like John Beaton's decision and me initially being angry at the referee and angry at the authorities, but this has got nothing to do with the referee or the
exactly,
authorities.
exactly. Because
This is our sheer stupidity.
with the context now provided,
Yes,
what on earth is George Grant doing making that challenge?
on a yellow card. I mean, again, we've said that Liam Fox is not getting the job. I feel sorry for Liam Fox in
So
this
that
respect because any chance, any slim chance that he had of getting the Hearts job was pretty much based on a performance stroke result at Pittodrie. And one of your senior players, who the club have spent good money by our standards on, has basically done that and cost us the game.
and that's the thing,
Thrown
right?
away any chance that we had of leaving Pittodrie with a positive result. And for
Yeah,
what?
it's like obviously you know what happens then. Duke gets past Forrester, crosses the ball back in the box, and Palaversa scores, who came on as a sub.
That can I just say, like Sockler should get a touch on it, doesn't, and then it falls for Palaversa.
Yeah,
Like, how fucking lucky do you actually
I
want to
know.
get?
Exactly. But we're speaking about Kenny Vargas and his decision making. And I think it's fair to say that a 22-year-old coming across the other side of the world might not have the decision making sorted for the rest of his career yet. Understandably, people might say that Kenny Vargas scores, we get something from that game. Obviously, at that point, you don't know, does Blair Spittle get his goal? Does Nicky Devlin get his goal in the way it happens? It changes everything. But what I can safely say to you is that with only 14 minutes left, I was going to say 19, 14 minutes left, a 30-year-old guy, one of our most experienced players, and bluntly, his legacy is doing this already,
Yeah.
should have better decision making than to do that. And I don't think this is what this is. I don't think, before I say this, I don't think this is what this is. But it screams of Grant just going, fuck this. I can't keep up with this. I want myself out. And just going, nah, I'm not on the pitch, so it didn't happen to me. I don't think that is what it is. What I think it is
I
a fucking
really hope
idiot.
I really hope it's not that.
I
I
just
just
think
think
he's an
it's sheer
idiot and just,
stupidity.
yeah, I
Yeah.
just think he's an idiot. But it leaves the door open for people to question you on that. And it's like, we said it literally last week. He gives the ball away to allow Ross County to score their goal. How are we in a situation where 2 years after Zurich, he is still lining up in starting 11s?
Zurich, Motherwell, now add Aberdeen to the list. Like, we forked out good money for George
He
Grant
just,
as well.
like,
He'll
bluntly,
probably be one of our better earners. And like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but we've picked up players in this division on free transfers that have done just as much, if not more,
Well, Jan
recently
Danda's just
than he has in
got
2
us through a
years.
European tie historically, whereas
George
George
Grant's
Grant
never been
fucked
the
us through a
hero for us in
European
Europe.
tie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
And it is like, I am of the opinion where it's like, he just shouldn't be in a starting 11 again.
I was never his biggest fan anyway, Macabre, but I'm done with that guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about him
I
anymore.
don't I don't wish him any ill will or
No,
anything like that. And listen, there
but
will be times
it's
he
not
will
worked
play
out.
again
Like
this
that's
season.
fine.
He will play again this season due to the size of the squad we have, due to the amount of games we're going to play. But I'd just be leaving him for ironically, your Ross counties at home. Like games that should mean nothing to us and should be easy wins regardless of who we play.
I I said it with regards to expiries. He's one, I believe, in the
Yeah,
summer 2025.
his he's
Catch
away.
you.
Yeah,
Not interested.
absolutely. But to not focus on the positive, to not focus on the negative, sorry, which is really hard to do when you lose a game in that manner.
It's
But
sore. It is sore.
yes, there is so much to build on from that performance, which leads us into the fact that there won't be an episode next week because the international break. And by the time we next speak to you,
Yay.
we will most likely, almost definitely, have a new manager, and he will be leading us out against St Mirren at Tynecastle a week on Saturday. Considering the performance we just had, considering it will be a new manager's first game, considering the place will probably be bouncing as a result, how are you feeling about it?
And considering St Mirren just lost to
Yep,
Dundee United at home,
definitely.
I'm confident. This is it. This is where we
This
turn
is
our
it.
season around. This has to be it. Um, yeah, no reason why we can't win that game. A dog shit Hearts that were bereft of confidence and ideas and general kind of intention lost 2-1 to St Mirren in Paisley. So there's absolutely no reason why, when you list off all these factors there, having now got some positive and kind of a feel good factor back in the bank to a lesser extent, there's no reason why we can't beat St Mirren at Tynecastle. I think we're going to be right up for it. Hopefully the fans are right up for it. And again, we use the crowd to our advantage, but absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be taking finally 3 points.
Will I see us win a game of football in person?
Yes, and I will
What's your
too.
score?
We lost 2-1, so this time I'm going to say that we'll win 2-1.
I was also going to say we win 2-1.
I'd love us to keep a clean sheet.
Same. But I don't think you can turn it around that much.
No. And I think it might just come down to like a bit of good fortune that we've not had up until now.
Yeah,
Again,
exactly.
like for St Mirren, like they're in, as you say, a bit of a sticky spell. It might just come down to something like that. Again, don't care who nets the winner. Would love it to be Jan Danda. Would love it to be Lauren Shanklin.
I'd love it to be Kenny Vargas after all this to get our
Vargas,
first win.
Luke Penrice, whoever
Yeah,
it is,
that is
any of you.
actually that is who
That
I wanted to
quartet,
be.
yeah, there you go. There you go. Any of that quartet will do for me.
Yeah.
Hearts 2, St Mirren 1.
Well, we will see what happens in 2 weeks' time. But we will, as ever, finish with the end is near quiz. I've no idea how to feel about this, so let's see.
I was going to say, I think I was angry enough during an hour, so let's see if there's any anger beans left in the tin.
Let's see. As ever, true or false, multiple choice, two normal questions in the Who Am I. We start with the true or false.
Oh, good, because that's always boded well.
Yep. True or false? Jan Danda's goal against Minsk was scored later in the game than the last European goal we scored in an away win. Now, do you
In an
remember the last
in an
goal we
away
scored in the
win
away
was
win?
Alan Forrest in Latvia, Riga.
Correct. That was. So, I am stating that Jan Danda's goal was later than Alan Forrest's.
Thanks, McIver. I'm well aware as to how the question works.
Dude, I was just listen. I'm
I'm
making
an
it as
idiot,
clear
but
as
I'm not a
possible
complete
for you.
idiot.
I'm making it as clear as possible for you.
I would suspect. Oh, I'm saying that. Yeah, I feel like Forrest was 92 or 93. So Danda was 90 plus 4. I'm going Jan Danda. Yeah, I'm going to say that's true.
He's 1 for 1 to start off. It is
Nice.
true. Alan Forrest against Riga was 90 plus 3. Danda was 90 plus
Ah,
4.
nice.
So only a
Woo.
minute. Only a minute
I know,
off.
both fantastic
Yeah,
scenes.
exactly. Question number 2 is your multiple choice. With Hearts' victory in, I was about to say in Belarus. It wasn't. It was in Baku.
Azerbaijan.
Yeah. Away in Europe. How many times have Hearts now won away in Europe? Is it A, 10? Is it B, 11? Is it C, 12? Or is it D, 13?
I'm pretty sure I heard Mark Donaldson say on Scars Around the Funnel that it's our 11th.
Is that your final answer?
No, because that face has kind of put me off. It's either 11, is it 11 or 12? 11. I'm going 11.
You shouldn't be listening to other podcasts. It's 11. Well done.
Yes. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that.
I
If you're
saw
listening.
it because I got sent it by my mate that Hearts Heritage tweeted out all the
Ah,
all the results.
Wow.
in
So
11
who else
games.
would be in that? Riga, Bordeaux,
Basel.
crikey, Basel. It's not very often that this
No, not
happens.
very
So
often.
wait, 11 times in 150 years. So we're looking
Yeah,
at about a decade for one,
yeah,
really.
basically, roughly.
That's wild. We must have seen a good
We've
bulk
seen
of
a
them.
bunch of them, aye,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. We're class, basically. Question number three, you're two for two.
Nice.
What was the score the last time Hearts played St Mirren at Tynecastle?
Oh. I'm pretty sure it was the week running up to Christmas and we won 2-0.
On the 23rd of December,
Yeah,
Hearts won
2-0.
2-0.
Can I just say, I obviously do the who scored scores each and every week. I was 4 from 4 that weekend. 2
Really?
nil wins for Hearts, Celtic, and Rangers, and Kelly beat St Johnstone 2-1 at Rugby Park, and I called all
Wow.
four, 4 out of 4 that weekend. So that's how
Fair
I
play.
remember it.
Should have
There
put
you
money
go.
on it. What would you have
One of,
got for that?
one of my work colleagues did, and he cashed out as soon as Rangers went 2-0 up because they were 2-0 up after a quarter of an hour. He said, there is no way this will end 2-0, and it did.
It did. Fucking
He
hell.
was
Wow.
furious.
Yeah, and they
But he got
won.
like 80 quid or something for it,
Yeah,
for like a
still.
couple of quid. So
Aye. Take
there
that.
you go. You're welcome, Michael.
3 out of 3. Can you get 4 out of 4?
No.
The last time Hearts won at Pittodrie was that Abiola Dowder game in
Oh,
May.
no.
But what was unique about that fixture?
The fact it was played on a Thursday night.
He's got 4 from 4 for the normal
Oh, he's on
questions.
fire. Somebody get an
Yes.
extinguisher and put me out.
Well,
I'm
the
on one.
extinguisher is in the form of the Who Am I?
Yeah, this
Because,
is it. This is it.
right, he's done well. He's done very
I
well.
have. I will take that.
Yep.
After a lot of anger, a lot of like joy, some apathy. Yeah, this is it.
A
I, I
reminder.
I'm content today.
A reminder that Adam has never had 5 out of 5.
Yeah, thanks, mate, for that. That was just needless
I'm
pressure
building
here.
up suspense. I'm
Oh,
building up
I'm
the
shitting
suspense.
myself now. Why have you done this? Come
Are
on,
you
get the
ready?
thinking cap on. No daft questions about winning goals at Easter Road and all this carry on.
So,
Come on, Adam.
I played for 11 different Scottish clubs.
Oh, that's a great start. Thanks.
I departed Hearts 5 months before we won a Scottish Cup, and in my career went on to play for the team that we defeated in said final. I have exclusively played in Scotland. In the 4 years I was at Hearts, I scored a single goal. And in more recent years, I was part of the coaching staff of a former Hearts manager. Who am I?
Easy, peeps. Right. Okay. Oh my God. 5 months before we won a Scottish Cup. Right.
Yep.
So we're talking round about January time in 98, 2006, and 2012, roughly. Because it doesn't happen very often. How I would love to see it happen again this year. Um, okay. Oi, oi, oi. Exclusively played in Scotland. 11 clubs is a lot. That is a lot. Oh my God. Because I thought of somebody like Kevin Kyle who left prior to us winning the Scottish Cup, but
Yeah.
then, of course, came through at Sunderland, played for Coventry, Wolves. Oh God. I don't I don't want to ask the time frame because you've given kind of enough of a clue.
I have been quite generous with time frame clues there.
I feel like I've got to ask. Oh, but then in saying that, like the list of clubs in order, would that be of use? Because you know it's exclusively in Scotland, but I need something to go off because I've not got like there's no name that's immediately at the forefront of my mind. Exclusively in Scotland. See, I thought of somebody like Stephen Presley, but I'm pretty sure he ended up and again won the cup with us, so that doesn't make any sense. Like, oh God, this is horrible. I I'm gonna ask for the list of clubs in order, please, McIver.
So, in order, Queen's Park, Kilmarnock, Queen's Park, Clyde, Airdrie, Hearts, Aberdeen, Gretna, Queen of the South, Greenock Morton, Airdrie, United, and Annan.
That is of absolutely no use to me. Um, can you give me the clues again, please?
Yes, of course, Cam. I played for 11 different Scottish clubs. I departed Hearts 5 months before we won the Scottish Cup, but then later in my career went on to play for the team that we defeated in said final.
Great
I've
enough.
exclusively played in Scotland. I scored a single goal for Hearts in the 4 years that I was there. And in more recent years, I was part of the coaching staff for a former Hearts manager.
The coaching staff of a former Hearts manager, so not somebody that played for Hearts that is a manager. So not somebody like a Gary Naismith or a Sandy Clark or
Not necessarily. It's just a guy who has managed Hearts at another club. He was
right.
part
Okay.
of
Oh, right.
his
Okay.
his coaching staff.
Up
So it
until
could be,
recently, you said.
I said, in more recent years,
In more recent years.
he was part of the coaching staff for a former Hearts manager. So they may have played for us as a player, but they also may not have, but they have managed us and then went on to another club where they then became part of the coaching staff.
They may or may not have played for us, did you just say?
Yeah, because it's a former Hearts manager, but you were asking, oh, does
Oh,
that
right.
mean that?
Okay.
Because you said
Right.
like Gary
Yeah, I
Naismith
was
and
going to
Charlie Clark
say,
and stuff.
I'm pretty sure it's a former Hearts player. That's
Yeah,
basically what we're doing here.
this guy is a former Hearts player.
Yes, right. Okay. Oh my God. So is
But
this somebody? Oh, is this somebody in Craig Levine's staff, or who is this?
is that your
Oh
is your
no,
question? Who is
no.
this?
That may go quite a way to
Yeah,
uncovering who it is.
it's Craig Levine.
Oh God. Like nobody is popping into my head here. 2006. Oh my God. And then later went on to play for Gretna. Who the hell played for Hearts and Gretna?
Danny Granger.
I have absolutely no idea who this is.
You've still got another question.
I know you say that, but it's not like it's of like I have no idea what to ask. Oh God. One goal. Like even that should be a staple that they weren't a striker, but that like there's
That
every
doesn't
chance that they were a
necessarily
centre
mean
forward.
that.
2006. Oh. I'm gonna ask for the position because then I might have something. What position did they play, Daniel McIver?
This man played as a defensive midfielder,
Defensive midfielder.
according to Wikipedia. I'll check transfer.
Did you say he played for Aberdeen as well?
Yep, yep.
See, I pulled Stephen Simmons from out of nowhere, and I always used to get him and Scott Severin mixed up. And did you not say Aberdeen as well as Hearts?
Yes, I
Okay,
did.
what was it? What was the list of clubs again? Sorry.
Queen's Park, Killie, Queen's Park, Clyde, Airdrie, Hearts, Aberdeen, Gretna, Queen of the South, Greenock Morton, Airdrie, Annan.
Scott Severin went down south, though, did he not? He would have been my only guess. I've got nobody else. I've got nobody else, and I'm conscious for time. I'm going to go Scott Severin. It's not Scott Severin, but I'm going to guess Scott Severin.
He's went for Scott Severin. Potentially get 5 out of 5 for the first time ever.
It's just not.
And because Scott Severin played for Watford,
Oh,
he
yeah.
is unfortunately the incorrect answer. Because the correct answer is the current Brentford B manager and
Neil
Scotland
McFarlane.
under 19 head coach,
Oh,
Neil McFarlane.
he was on my list to do, but I've not. Oh, that's so annoying.
Yay! He's still not got 5. Hooray! So, yeah,
No, that's not hooray. Come on, I did so
I
well in
do
that.
feel bad for you. You did very well in the quiz.
Oh,
I
that's
played for
so
11
annoying.
Scottish clubs. You got that. Yeah, he departed January '06 and then we won the Cup. And then he went to play for Gretna. He exclusively played in Scotland, although he was the manager, uh, actually the caretaker manager in 2015 for Coventry. But then,
Who would have
in
been there in that time? Stephen Presley.
probably yes, maybe. Hold
Coventry. That
on.
seems bizarre.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say that. That does make
He was
sense.
the assistant. Oh my God, my clue was actually even better than I thought it
Was
was.
he
Because I
Stephen
didn't.
Presley's assistant?
Yeah, and I didn't even know that. He was Preston's
This is what
assistant
I
at
mean. This is what this
Falkirk.
this is what I'm up against.
Falkirk, Coventry, Fleetwood, and Paphos.
Oh, that's right. I forget he went over to Cyprus as
And
well. That's
yeah,
right.
Presley got sacked as Coventry boss and he became caretaker. But he also was manager in 2018 to 2019 of Kidderminster Harriers.
I didn't know that. Didn't know that Neil McFarlane had a spell in the dugout.
But then what the actual clue was that McFarlane joined MK Dons as first team coach to manager Robbie Nielsen in December
Bloody hell!
2016 and
I didn't know that either.
stayed in the role until Nielsen's sacking in January 2018. So that's what that final clue's about.
Crikey!
And yeah, he scored
Oh
one goal for
man.
us.
Oh, that's so annoying. It's literally on my list of potential who am I's.
I'm
I
chuffed with
you
Neil
would
McFarlane.
you would have thought that I'd have done my due diligence and just I actually thought that he could be one for like our manager in the future because
Yeah, I know what you
that
mean,
young
considering
coach.
he's doing well.
I think because we've got the Cathro experiment kind of looming over us,
Yeah.
we won't go down that route. But had we not, because he's got that tie to the club, and what is he now? The 19s manager.
19's manager and Brentford B's head coach.
There you go. So he's obviously got something, but
Yeah.
that's a real sickener because I did really well in the quiz. Other than that, that's
Yeah.
annoying. That's really annoying. Almost
Well,
as annoying as the weekend defeat.
but not quite. Let
Not
us
quite.
know if you got Neil McFarlane and if you have enjoyed this episode. A longer one, but it's 2 games. A lot of stuff has happened.
A lot of anger.
Yeah, a lot of anger. So it's understandable. But if you have enjoyed it, please leave us a review on your podcast platform of choice. It really does help us out. If people watching on YouTube and seeing Adam struggle, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help us out. Perth to Paisley on all the socials, perth to Paisley at gmail.com if you want to fire us over an email. Adam, where can they get you on all the socials?
You can get me on all the socials at Adam T Kendo. No exciting like caption or daft thing that
No.
I'm going to do this week because I'm quite depressed. But I actually, before we go, obviously we did the Who Am I last week and it was Perry Kitchen,
Yeah.
and I've got the top that I'm going to send you
Oh
here.
my God.
So there it is,
Incredible. I'm
and
going to frame it.
there's the back. What a
I'll
savage
frame
lass.
it and have it behind me there.
Love that. But there we go. USA, USA, USA.
Love it. Well, from us and Perry Kitchen, there won't be an
And Neil
episode next week,
McFarlane.
and Neil McFarlane. There won't be an episode next week unless we just suddenly appoint a manager and we decide to do a 20-minute chat about it or something like that. But
We won't.
let's be honest, you know what we're like. You'll see
We-
us in 2 weeks' time to speak about the new manager, the hopefully wonderful win at St Mirren,
It will
and
be.
any other fallout that happens between them. But until next time, see you then. Bye bye.
Come on out!